Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Thursday morning because I'm now 7-0. My last 7 chairman package picks on my premium page. We had the Rockets minus 5.5 getting the job done against the point spread yesterday, and they ended up beating the Grizzlies by 13. And the good news is I have another chairman package pick going off here this evening. And if you sign up for that membership here today, well, just to be clear, the chairman membership, it's a full access, all-inclusive package. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on the free, video and what I do on my premium site. Well, what I do here on the free video is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. What I do on my premium page is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. I'm 3-0 my last 3 daily best plays, 2-0 my last couple of NHL tier membership picks, and finally, folks, I'm once again 7-0 my last 7 chairman package plays on my premium page. And the good news is I have plays going off in all of those packages here tonight. Once again, the site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into some free content. We're going to start off with the Bulls at the Heat, 7:30 p.m. East. Miami's 4.5, totals 217. Now, the Heat's playing some solid basketball over the past week or so. They've also got a 600 win percentage in their own building, playing some pretty good basketball on their home court. And I'll tell you, the Heat's been quite physical underneath the basket. They're a top 5 defensive rebounding team in the NBA right now. And of course, they're going up against a Chicago team who's actually one of the worst rebounding teams in the Eastern Conference. And out of 11 road games this year, the Bulls got the W only twice. They're a bottom 5 point producing team in their travels. Now, injury-wise, Levine's still out. Caruso's questionable. Meanwhile, for the Heat, Hero and Adebayo are still out for them. Richard and Highsmith are questionable. 4 out of the Heat's last 7 ball games did get over the total. Chicago went 8-1 to the over in their last 9 themselves. Give me the Heat minus 4.5 over 217. Next game, Cavs, Celtics, 7:30 p.m. East. Boston's minus 9.5, totals 226 and a hook. And as good as Boston's been, well, they haven't been great at covering the number. They failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 ball games. And out of their last 10 outings, well, Boston covered the point spread in just 30% of those matchups. And even though there's really not a whole lot to nitpick when it comes to Boston, I do have a weird kind of quirky stat for you. The Celtics, for whatever reason, they tend to come out of halftime very cold offensively. They're averaging fewer third-quarter points than any other roster in the NBA except for one. And even though that is a weird stat, it could potentially come back to bite them here today because Cleveland, on the other side, they're in the top 5 in the East in guarding the field goal. Donovan Mitchell leads the team in steals, handful of defensive boards a night. Darius Garland right behind him, steals per game. These guys are more known for offense, but they play some D too. Injury-wise, Mobley and Jerome are out for Cleveland. Jaylen Brown questionable for Boston. The Celtics saw unders recently against the likes of Indiana, Atlanta, and Orlando. Meanwhile, Cleveland went 6-2 to the under in their last 8. Give me Cleveland plus 9.5. Under 226 and a hook. Next game, T-Wolves, Mavs, 8:30 p.m. East. Dallas is minus 2, totals 230. And even though I typically lean toward Dallas in this one, I do think they have some injury problems. I think they're too banged up at the moment. Hardaway, Curry, and Jones are questionable. Irving and Kleba, those guys are still out. And aside from those injuries, I think the Mavs are going to lose the battle in the paint. These guys are one of the worst rebounding teams in the Western Conference. And unfortunately for them, they're facing a Minnesota club who grabs more defensive boards a night on the road than any other team except for one. Rudy Gobert's third in the league in rebounds, averaging 12.2 boards a night. Meanwhile, Karl Anthony Towns, he's averaging nearly double-digit rebounds a game. He's currently second on the roster in scoring. Now, injury-wise, Edwards, McLaughlin, and McDaniels are questionable. Jalen Clark is still out. Meanwhile, for Dallas, once again, Kleba and Kyrie are still out. Hardaway, Curry, and Jones are questionable. The Mavs are 8-3 to the over in their own building, 17-6 to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw 8 out of their last 11 road games get over the total themselves. Give me Minnesota +2 over 230. Next contest, Nets, Nuggets, 9 o'clock East. Denver's -9, totals 229. And I'll tell you this much, I'm not overly thrilled with this number here for Denver. They're laying nearly double digits in this spot, and they've been very little threat shooting the long ball this year. Denver's making just 11 three-pointers a game. They're actually in the bottom 5 in the West in that particular category. When it comes to shooting from the stripe, nobody does it worse. Denver's dead last in free throw percentage. Now, they're going to need all the points they can get because Brooklyn really shuts it down on D. These guys are a top 5 defensive field goal percentage team in the East, and they really shut things down during crunch time. Brooklyn's in the top 10 in fewest fourth quarter points allowed. Mikal Bridges leads the roster in steals, 23 points a night offensively for Bridges as well. When it comes to offensive production, Cam Thomas is scoring a team-high 23 points a game. Now, injury-wise, Walker's still out with the hammy. Dennis Smith is questionable. Meanwhile, for Denver, Murray and Gordon are questionable. KCP's been scratched. 7 out of the Nuggets' last 9 ball games got over the total. They're also 5-1 to the over against Eastern Conference opponents. Meanwhile, Brooklyn saw overs recently against the likes of Sacramento, Orlando, and Charlotte. Give me Brooklyn +9 over 229. Next ball game, Thunder Kings, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Sacramento's -2, totals 243.5. And even though they are favored by a bucket, I do have concerns about the Kings here. For one, they just give up way too many points, especially at home. Sacramento's allowing over $120 a game at the Golden One Center. And no real surprise here, they're in the bottom 3 and guarding the three-pointer on their own court. And unfortunately for them, OKC's been great from beyond the perimeter here, great from beyond the arc. They're the best three-point shooting team in the game. OKC's got the highest offensive three-point percentage in the entire NBA. They're also leading the league in offensive free throw percentage as well. They rarely miss at the stripe. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander makes 55% of his attempts from the field, 30 points a night as well. Meanwhile, Isaiah Joe, he's drilling over 44% of his attempts from three-land. Now, injury-wise, Trey Lyles is questionable for Sacramento. Alex Len still out for a while as well. Now, the Kings are 6-2 to the over in their last 8. They also saw 80% of their home games this year get over the total as well. Oklahoma City went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me OKC +2 over 243.5. Next contest, Jazz Blazers, 10 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Portland's -3.5 at home, totals 227. And as bad as Utah's been, well, it's Portland who's one of the worst offensive teams in the game. They're dead last in field goal percentage, dead last in fourth quarter scoring. And my biggest concern for Portland, even more so than their lack of scoring, it's their inability to rebound. These guys are in the bottom 5 in the West in defensive boards, bottom 3 in the entire league in offensive rebounding as well. And they're facing a Utah club who's a top 5 rebounding team in the entire NBA themselves. Walker Kessler, he averages nearly double-digit boards a night. 55% shooting from the field as well for Kessler. Meanwhile, Colin Sexton scoring a baker's dozen a night himself. Now, injury-wise, Clarkson and George are out. Collins and Markkanen are questionable. Meanwhile, for Portland, Brogdon and Ayton are questionable for them. Jeremy Grant is still out. 5 out of Portland's last 8 ball games stayed under the total. Unders against the likes of the Warriors, Cavaliers, and Pacers. Meanwhile, Utah went 60% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Jazz plus 3.5, under 227. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. Going to be in that Warriors-Clippers game, 10:30 p.m. East. The LA Clippers are minus 5.5, totals 231. And this is a pretty good number for a Clipper team who won their last 5 straight. And I'll tell you, defensively, the Clips were very tough to score against during that stretch of 5 wins. They actually held their opponents to just 108 points a night during that streak. And when the Clips are at home, good things happen there as well. They're in the top 3 in defensive points per game on their home court. They're facing a Golden State team on the other side who's been surprisingly less than efficient shooting from the field. These guys are in the bottom 5 in the West in offensive field goal percentage. Meanwhile, as a team, the Warriors lost 3 out of their last 4, and they had all kinds of problems on defense during that span. Draymond Green suspended for Golden State. Paul George is questionable for the Clips. 10 out of the Clippers' last dozen home games fell under the total. They're officially 70% to the under for the entire season at any location. Give me the LA Clippers minus 5.5, under 231. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the Heat minus 4.5, over 217. Cavaliers plus 9.5, under 226 and a hook. Minnesota plus 2, over 230. I'm 7-0, my last 7 chairman package picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another chairman package pick going off here this evening. The link for my site is in my bio. Brooklyn Nets plus 9, over 229. OKC plus 2, over 243.5. Utah Jazz plus 3.5, under 227. With my next and final pick for the video, give me the Clippers minus 5.5, under 231. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.